Hi, it's Jenny with Jenny's Wreath Boutique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make an easy year-round greenery wreath using only one kind of greenery. I think every wreath maker should know how to make one of these wreaths because it's simple. You can use any kind of greenery you can find. I am going to give you some guidelines for how to choose a good greenery for this kind of wreath. And then also you can decorate it for every season. You can add some spring florals in it, or summer, or fall or winter, or just leave it up as a plain greenery wreath all season. I love that. That's actually my favorite way to do it. I just love greenery wreaths. I think they're so pretty. For this wreath, I'm going to be using a beautiful eucalyptus. I absolutely love this. I actually have some available at my shop if you want these exact ones. But I love these. I'm going to show you how to use a long stem like this and make it look nice on the wreath and not look too messy. Also, if you're going to use one kind of greenery, I recommend having a greenery that has some lift to it. It's interesting. You can see how the leaves are really natural looking and they're sticking out on multiple sides of the stem, so it has some lift and it's not flat. Here's an example of a flat greenery. I have my ruscus, which I love. I use this all the time, also available in my shop, but it's very flat. So I don't recommend this kind of greenery as just a one greenery wreath. You need a greenery that has a little more interest on its own. So that's why I chose this. And then I'm also going to show you how to keep the stems nice and tame, and you can have lots of control over them. For this wreath, I'm also using a 14-inch grapevine. Of course, use whatever size you like. This wreath will be about 22 inches in diameter when it's finished. Also using hot glue and hot glue gun and my favorite wire cutters. I'm also using some floral wire. My favorite is 24 gauge. I feel like 22 gauge is a little bit too hard on my fingers, and 26 gauge is a little too soft. It's harder to put through the grapevine. 24 gauge is a happy medium, but you can go 22 or 26, whatever you have available to you. This is just my personal favorite. And remember, use any kind of greenery that you like that's interesting on its own. For this, we have 4 branches from this one stem, and I'm just going to cut them up. I have 5 eucalyptus stems with me for this size wreath, and so I'm just cutting these like that. And so I'll have 3 shorter stems and 1 longer stem. A lot of times you'll find greenery that has 1 longer stem and 1 shorter stem. The same method I'm going to show you here will work great with that kind of stem too. So to start with these stems, I do like to make sure most of the leaves are facing forward, but the back side of these leaves are pretty too. And I like that two-toned look. That's another thing you can look for with greenery, is the back side of the leaves look pretty and they provide a nice back look. I'll show you another greenery that works well for this. This is another greenery. This is my chickaboo stems. And these are also another example of one that makes a nice greenery wreath all on its own, but you don't have to use floral wire on this one because the stems make perfect little picks all on their own. I've already shown my VIP group how to make a wreath with that, so that's where that tutorial is. Moving on with this one. So all we're gonna do for these shorter stems, we're just gluing our stem, placing it along the grain of the grapevine on the inside, and feel free to turn some of your leaves more forward. The next stem is going to go on the outside. And then the next stem is going on the inside. I'm gluing each stem, placing it along the grain of the grapevine. And now we have our longer stem. You could cut this up, but I really want to show you what you can do to make it nice, because a lot of stems you can't cut up and it just wouldn't look good. So what you're going to do is you're going to glue the stem just like the others, and then you're going to take a little bit of your floral wire. Floral wire is one of my essential tools for wreath making. And then you make it into a U shape, just like that. Can you see that? And then we're going to take that long sturdy stem about 1/3 to 1/2 of the way up. It depends on how tame you want your wreath. If you want it more tame, you can move the wire higher up on the stem. I kind of want mine a medium length tame, so you just put it around the stem, through the grapevine, and then you twist it tight. This is my favorite way to twist them tight because it's so fast and easy. And then you just tuck the wire into the grapevine. See how clean the back of the grapevine is? There's no stem sticking out. It looks really good. And then so now this is secure to the wreath. So when the wreath is hanging up, it's not going to fall forward because you've tied it to the grapevine. You don't need to do that with the shorter stems because they're already secure enough to the wreath because their stems are shorter. So we're just going to continue on adding inside and outside, making sure you're covering up the stems before, and then we'll have a nice full wreath. This is so pretty. I grabbed one more stem because 5 wasn't quite enough. Although I could have made it work and made it less fluffy, it would have been totally fine. But I'm going to add one more stem, so this wreath takes 6 total stems. All right, let's check the size of this wreath. Leaf tip to leaf tip. Yep. I always add it conservatively, so you could say 23 inches, but I would put this as 22 inches. Looks so good. What do you think? Isn't this gorgeous? I absolutely love this greenery. I think it's so pretty. And this is the side looks like. And here's the back. The back is so clean. I don't need to do anything else. I think the back of the wreath looks so nice. No stems sticking out. Everything looks great. So I don't need to do anything else except add a loop. So I'm going to show you how to add a loop to the back because I don't always show this in my videos, but all of my wreaths get this. They get a nice loop. So you just see where it hangs best. Take some jute twine. Doesn't matter the size, just sturdy enough to hold up the wreath. Take a little piece, and then I just find a spot where you can, that's sturdy enough to hold the twine, and then that you can put the twine through. You can use needle nose pliers if you need help pulling it through. And then I just make a little loop. And then cut that off. And now it's ready to hang. Don't you love it? Let me know what you think. And if you want to use this exact greenery, I will link it down in the description below. Any kind of greenery that you like, you can use this method. If you wanted to add a little more texture, you can add another kind of greenery. I like to use the same color family, so I have another kind of eucalyptus you could add. It adds a little more interest with some seeds, or you could just leave it alone. Or if you wanted a spring wreath, you could just add some florals around the wreath, and then you have a beautiful spring wreath. There's so many options. I just wanted to show you just how to make a nice greenery wreath that you can use in so many different ways, even on its own. All right, let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if you like these simple greenery wreath designs. If you enjoy it, let me know in the comments, and maybe I can show you some more examples of really easy greenery wreaths to make. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye.